Spurs then. You'll, of course, remember back to the previous game and the set of circumstances that went against you. Is this a game where you really should be going for the double against Spurs this season?
Quite a lot of things have gone against us so far this season, but I think that just shows the characteristics of the team. And certainly on that day, I was delighted. I thought it was an outstanding performance from us. I think at the time, they were obviously just moved into I think it was about a £600 million stadium. So, and Pochettino had one of the best managers in the world and some of the best players in Europe, and reached the Europe Champions League final. And that day, I was delighted with my team. Delighted that the reaction after we stood around for about 10 minutes, waiting for the decision on John Lundstrom's big toe not being offside, which it was, a mistake by us, and the reaction to score a great goal, and some disappointing bodies in the changing room after the game. So sometimes, it's not all about a win when you assess a performance. You have to assess who you're up against and assess what's happened in the game and assess the general play. It's not just looking to see what the result was in the paper the next day. So I was quite happy with that, as I was quite happy with what happened on Sunday. And if we can take it on from Sunday into Thursday, then cut out the silly mistakes, then hopefully will give us a little bit of an opportunity in maintaining our position in the top 10.
Are Spurs now a little bit more of a different prospect post-lockdown than they would have been? Of course, Son and Kane are back, and that's after they added Lo Celso and Bergwijn in the January transfer window.
What do you think then? Do you think they're weaker or stronger when you just talked
I would
about
suggest,
being back fit?
Hence the question, Chris. Yes, I think they're stronger.
Yeah, they're stronger. And obviously, people have their opinions on who it's affected and who it hasn't. So definitely from Spurs' point of view, maybe Manchester United's point of view, it has helped a couple of teams along the way, and obviously they'll be raring to go on Thursday night.
And obviously, a lot's been talked about the crowds being missing and everybody missing fans inside stadiums. But is it especially a big miss when it comes up against teams like the Big Six, where you have that extra underdog tag, and those 30,000 Blades fans would potentially give you that little bit extra?
We were the underdogs in the Championship. We weren't favourites in the Championship. So when we go into the Premier League as a promoted side and everybody writes us off, we're underdogs from the off, with everything that is attached to the football club, from where the players have been, where they're going, what's happened. We're underdogs every game, and 100% rightly so. 100% rightly so. Not in our coconuts, we're not, because we've got that characteristic, a fighting mentality that we fancy ourselves, even when you look at it and possibly, reflect afterwards and going, really, if Manchester United say yes, but we're looking at ourselves always in our own changing room and in our mentality. So from an underdog point of view, there it is. From a connection with the supporters point of view, I don't think there's a bigger connection between a group of players and a club over the last 3 years, bigger than what it's been like for Sheffield United and the group of players. So if you're saying to me, do the players and myself miss the supporters? Absolutely, 100%. And that ain't an excuse. That's just an absolute fact. I think if you talk to anybody who's got an ounce of knowledge about the game, would think that Arsenal coming to Bramall Lane on a pretty cold Sunday afternoon in March with 30,000 Sheffield United fans screaming at them with a few beers inside them would give the home team an advantage. I would possibly say that they would say, yes, United would have a bigger advantage. So, and then speaking to Steve Round afterwards, He thought that had gone in their favour. So yeah, these are things that we're having to deal with. The connection and the support that I've had personally and the players have had has been incredible. It has been both ways because of the performances that we've produced. I'd like to think that's as strong as ever, even though we're just having a little bit of a dip. So even though they can't help us in terms of voices and in terms of attitude, I'm sure that they're willing us on. So that gives me great enthusiasm and comfort that they understand that it's not always about, us winning all the time. That, sometimes is that connection when you're going through a little bit of a sticky period. So the 2-game losing period in terms from league performance, league results, we don't want to turn it into 3, and I'm sure every Sheffield United fan will be willing us on Thursday, even though they won't be inside our ground.